This Shabbat is Rosh Chodesh Av, which is the day that Aaron, the high priest, passed away. Aaron's entire modus operandi was peace, to bring peace between people that maybe had a conflict between themselves, between husband and wife. He would pursue peace like a hunter pursues their prey. So it's appropriate then, seeing as his yahrzeit falls on a Shabbat, that we talk about maybe a story that has to do with Shabbat and peace. There was a certain rabbi from the city of Bnei Brak here in Israel that was going to give a lecture and answer questions on Jewish law. So he got a taxi. Usually when he was in the taxi, he liked to study Torah, but in this case, there was a religious station on the radio, and the taxi driver, he was happy to see that he was listening to this religious radio station. Suddenly he heard an introduction to a story that was going to be told, and the man on the radio said it's an incredible story of divine inspiration and good characteristic midot tovot, and it caught his attention that he put down the book and he listened. It was a story about the Leil of a Rav, and it was a certain Shabbat, a Friday night, and they had at his house a tish. They had a meal and they had a gathering of his Hasidim. Meanwhile, while one of the young Hasidim was sitting there, he noticed the Rebbe call over a man he didn't quite recognize, whisper something in his ear. The man was visually taken by whatever the Rebbe said to him, and he left. So the Chassid, being very curious, ran after him and he said, "Hey, can you tell me what the Rebbe told you?" So he answered, "You see, for the last few months, me and my wife have had a bitter conflict. Every Friday, I set up the table and I set up the candles on the side, not on the table, because this is how I've learned that it's the best way to do the candle lighting, that it should be not on the dining room table, but on the side. My wife, every time I come back from synagogue, I see has taken those candles and has put it on the dining table, and each time it bothers me. And again, every week I say to her, please don't move it this time, and I come back from synagogue and there it's been moved." So this past Shabbos, before it came in, I set up the candles as I usually do on the side, and I said to my wife, I swear this time, if I find when I come back from synagogue that that you've moved it to the table, I will not do kiddush. I will not sanctify the Friday with the special blessings we say, and I will not stay with you for the meal. In fact, I'll go straight to the Beit Midrash, the study hall, and I'll just learn. He came back from synagogue, and lo and behold, on the dining table, there are the candles. He immediately said, "That's it," and he left, and he went to the study hall. Meanwhile, as he was at the study hall, he heard some beautiful singing. It happened to be coming from the tish of the Leil of a Rav. So he decided he would pop in. As he came in, the Rebbe saw him and summoned him over. And he whispered in my ear, saying to me that the whole point our sages tell us of the candles is to bring peace. And he gave me one look and understood very quickly that I hadn't been acting the way I should have. And so that's why I'm heading home now. So the man on the radio concluded this story, and the rabbi who had heard it was very pleased that he had heard it. And now he went to give his lecture. And the very first question he got was, "Rabbi, will you please tell me and my wife have a debate as to what's the best way to light candles. She says to light candles on the table, and I say to do it on the side. Rabbi, can you please tell me what's the best way to do this?" He immediately smiled. He couldn't believe the incredible ashkacha pratit, the divine providence, that he had just heard the story from the Leil of a Rav, and the first question he gets is this question. And he reminded the man that the whole point of the candles is to bring peace. I wish you all a Shabbat Shalom.